Hey, what's up, you guys? My name is Krista, Nicole Uniquely, and this is my channel. I just started this channel. I've been coming out with a book for a very long time. But yeah, I've been coming out with a book, working on a book for a lot of years, and I actually have a lot of wisdom when it comes to relationships. So I decided to finally start my channel on advice regarding dating and relationships, because that's my area. That's what I do. That's my field. Okay. So my name is Krista Nicole Uniquely. I'm so glad that I finally got started with this particular venture of mine to coincide with the book that I'm going to be releasing soon. And I just want you guys to know that this is the channel for it's got to be said. You know, we start conversations about what needs to be said, okay? Because it has to be said. So, welcome to my channel, which is It's About That Time. Okay, it's about that time, you guys. So, welcome to my channel. All right, so welcome to my channel. It's About That Time, where we're going to have conversations about what needs to be said, because it's got to be said. Okay, so I was having a really great conversation. You know, for those that don't know, which is most of y'all, probably all, I'm an actress, and we were having this really great conversation about actors and acting and what it's like. I know you're thinking like, okay, well, what does this got to do with relationships, blah, blah, blah. Well, I'm about to tell you. A lot of the misconception when it comes to the mindset of actors is when they go on auditions, you know, when they do the work that's required, they have to deal with a lot of rejection. That is a mindset. That is a chosen mindset. And the reason why I can say that is because I too go do the same type of work. I go through several auditions before I book a job, the whole nine. But I have never, and I thought this was such a fascinating point to make during this conversation, I've never looked at it as rejection. I always look at it as either I match the part or I don't. But it ain't gonna be because I'm being rejected. And I'm gonna get to more about that particular comparison in a minute. Said all that to say, it's the same thing when it comes to dating and relationships. Just because it doesn't work out with this person doesn't necessarily mean that you were rejected. It just means it wasn't a match. Either it wasn't a match for that person, you know, or it wasn't a match from your perspective, or you both agreed that it wasn't a match. Either way, it's not a match because you want it to be mutual. Similar to a casting director. They obviously, let me just say this, people bypass this number one fact. If you got the audition, they see themselves potentially booking you. That's the goal. And they want to book the best match for the role. Now, if you get the audition, that's not rejection. You have been hand selected and chosen to take up their time to see what you can do. Okay, that's number one. Same thing as if you meet somebody. You meet somebody, there's an interest spark, there's an interest there. You're gonna see what's gonna happen. They're there to see what it's gonna do. Similar to, you know, an audition. It's either a match or it isn't. It just boils down to that. It's not rejection, okay? I either look like the part, or I look too young for the part, or I look too old for the part, or maybe, you know, my voice, or maybe they're looking for someone a little bit heavier, somebody a little bit thinner. Either way, for whatever reason, it wasn't a match. And it's the same thing. It's the same thing. Now, I'm gonna keep it 100. I'm gonna keep it real. Sometimes it's not a match because you're supposed to be in a place where you're being still and you trying to get out there. How is that similar to acting? You need to learn the basics, okay, before you try to audition for a major role and you don't know the basics that you should know as an actor. If you don't know certain things about yourself, about your standards, about relationships, about, you know, where you're going in life, about what you need, then you don't need to be out there anyway. You need to figure those things out first. Similar to going to a class, you need to figure out the basics before you go out there and put yourself out there. It's very similar in so many ways. Now, you might not be a match to that person, let's say to a male, the male and female relationship, the male's not feeling the situation. He doesn't think it's a good match for a lot of different reasons. And I'm gonna give you some of those reasons. Sometimes it's just because you just flat out crazy. Sometimes it's just because you flat out crazy. You're trying to be out there before the time and you haven't figured out that your thinking is off. Okay, your thinking is off. The guy sees it. He don't have time to try to dissect through your craziness and your crazy thinking and your crazy perspectives on things that are just off to him, you know. Or it could be a stronger interest in another person, or it could be you're trying to have this type of relationship, he's trying to have that type of relationship. Either way, it's just not a match. You feel what I'm saying? As an actress, I have met some amazing guys, but I have thought also that, you know, I wasn't a particular match to one particular guy because I was an actress. And if you have issues with, you know, your woman being in a scene with a guy, or that man having to touch your woman, touch your wife, if it got to that level, you're thinking all the way through, because this person is walking in their purpose and they know what they're going to do, and that's not going to change. So you're thinking the whole scenario through. And if that's something you can't deal with, it's just not a match. It doesn't mean I'm not a good person, I'm not quality. It doesn't mean that we didn't get along, there was great chemistry, great things in common, great conversation. It just wasn't a match, period. If I was dealing with someone, you know, and this goes across the board, if anyone's dealing with someone and you're in an industry, this is another example, if you're in an industry where you have to have constant positivity around you because of what you do requires faith, then you really cannot be with a pessimistic person. You can't be with someone that doesn't have the ability to push you, to drive you, to encourage you. They don't have what you need. And in that case, doesn't make them a bad person. They're just not a match for you. Maybe they'll be a good match for someone who's not in an industry that requires a lot of faith. Maybe they're a good match for someone who has a 9 to 5, where life doesn't quite change on a day-to-day basis. At the end of the day, you're either a match or you're not, okay? So just look at it that way. Don't look at it like rejection. Just like actors should never look at not getting a part as rejection because you got an opportunity to learn something, similar to being on a date. You got a chance to sharpen your skills, similar to on a date, sharpen your discernment, learn what you want and what you don't want. Learn about yourself, how you carry yourself, where you're at. You can gauge where you're at in your thought process and what you bring to the table. You learn those things. Similar to an audition, you learn how to work with different readers, that they're the people that read to you while you're doing the scene. They read the other character. You're learning from them. You're learning from the person on the date. You know what I mean? It's the same thing. It's not rejection. You got something out of it. You gained something out of it, learning about yourself as well as learning about the other person and learning about people in general. So you're never rejected, okay? It's just a mindset. If you have the mindset of, oh, you know, this person rejected me. Get rid of it. It's not real. It's all mental. You can choose how you want to see something. And if you choose to see it as rejection, it's going to have a whole different effect on you as a person way after the date. Way after the date. It's going to put a negative, put you in a negative space. It's going to make you pessimistic. It's going to make you more, just more, I don't know, not necessarily bitter, because that can't happen. You can become more cynical is the word. Bitter is one result, and so is being cynical, just coming in with a negative vibe and a negative, expectation, instead of looking at it that way, just look at it like, okay, I'm here to see if this is a match. And if it's not, it's not. It may take several dates, but I recommend holding off. Don't give yourself. If you give your body, you're going to give your emotions. Don't be fooled by that. Don't be fooled by people who act like it's just casual and it's not going to affect you and get you all emotional and off course. It's going to get you off course in so many ways. In so many ways. Judgment's going to be off. Your emotions are going to be crazy. You're going to be mentally obsessed with this person. don't even put yourself in that position. Hold off on giving your body for the right commitment in the right situation. And I promote marriage. I do believe that it is possible in this year, in 2021. Yes, I do believe that. However, you got to believe it. And unfortunately, most people don't get to that revelation, that understanding, that aha moment until they've had several trials and errors and finally figure out, okay, this isn't the way to go. Maybe it was cool in high school, but not really at this point in life. And you just got to get there. You got to get there on your own. You can listen to somebody from wisdom and get there, or you can learn the harder way. And that's through trial and error and giving yourself all the effects that come with it, and it's not going to work, and it doesn't work out. But that's your choice. But I would recommend don't, because more times than not, it's not going to work out. Just like an actor's not the perfect, doesn't match each part on the planet. The same thing with men when you're dating, ladies, and the same thing with women, guys. Everybody's not going to be for you, and that's okay. All right. So don't look at it as rejection. Look at it as this just simply was not a good match, and that's cool. Everybody's not going to be your match. All right. I love you guys so much. Thank you so much for watching my first video. My first video on YouTube. And, I've been doing ministry online for a couple years now. And I'm excited to start this new venture and segment into a lot of great topics, guys. A lot of great topics, as well as a lot of the topics that are coming from a book that I know is about to blow this industry, because nobody's writing about this particular thing. All right. I love you guys so much. Thank you so much for watching, and like, subscribe, talk to people, tell people. I'm going to be trying to post these every single week, starting maybe every Monday, most likely every Sunday, but we'll see how it goes, but you will see the pattern. So make sure you subscribe. And I got so much advice for you guys. I haven't even obviously touched the surface, being my first video, but I cannot wait to talk to you guys about more and more and more and more that is going to put you in a whole different place, mindset, and place in life, in your thinking, as well as in the way that you view yourself, carry yourself, and see other people, and see this walk towards what you want. Especially if that's marriage. If you want marriage, watch this channel. Trust me on that. Watch this channel. I've had a lot of experience. I've been married before. Like I said, I'm definitely older than how I look. So I got some wisdom to share with you guys, and I love you so much. Thanks for watching this video, and I will see you guys soon.